Only losers are allowed to eat, so you and me can't eat. And hello there, everyone. Good afternoon, good morning, or good evening. It is the DOUG here once again, and we are back to everyone's favorite thing on Wednesdays. No, it's not watching Kim Kardashian try to act. It is time for the NFL Week number 9 picks for this season, and of course, college news. But I am not alone. We have, right now, he currently is still a Packers fan, but he may not be after Sunday, depending what happens. It's my boy Travis.
What up, what up?
Hope you're having a good day today.
Yeah, not too bad.
Not too bad, alright. And of course we have everyone's favorite 49ers fan, a man who had a good weekend and got saved by the bell thanks to Cleveland, and I'll explain why in a little bit. It is Dave.
What up? What up, world?
Hope you're having a good night tonight, Dave. I know the Halloween thing's over now, so you're good there.
Yep.
Just getting this thing added to the wonderful thing of Facebook, because you know Facebook, it's the devil. More or less. At least that's my opinion. Now, of course, let's get a quick recap of last week before we get to all the major news for college and the pros we've had this week. Now, lo and behold, in college, I did pretty good this past week once I get to my wonderful little paper. Then of course I'll give all standings out after that, because they've been updated. In college last week, TCU beat West Virginia, so there was no couch burning. Oklahoma State loses again, this time to the Kansas State Wildcats. The Oklahoma State Cowboys playoff chances are not looking good right now. Sorry, Andrew, I know you're mad about that. The Bruins beat the Cardinals with ease. And then of course our last two games we had, thanks to Mom. By the way, Mom says hello. South Alabama Jags beat the Red Wolves, and the Red Hawks did beat the Zips. So 4-1 in college, 18-17 for the season in college. Now,
I want 4-1 too.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, I think we all did. We all had a good week in college, thank God. Now, as far as for the pros, week 1, game 1, Ravens beat the Buccaneers, and I'm going to say this. Woo, boy, Tampa Bay! Welcome to hell! Because, and though you're third place in the division, because Carolina lost this past week, oh my God, they might quite possibly be one of the worst teams in the NFL. And oh, by the way, Brady, you lost twice this week. You not only got beat by the Ravens, the next day you got hit with divorce papers. You and your wife are getting a divorce. So, you're probably the biggest loser of this week, but you're not the dumbest quarterback this week. Then we had the jolly old England. We should have watched the British Bulldog matches from 1997, but instead, we watched the Broncos and Jags, and well, okay, I gotta admit it. Broncos country, let's ride, because you actually won a game!
Oh. Barely.
Yeah, by luck. By luck.
Look, Jaguars choked, but they weren't the worst choke artists this week. Broncos, congratulations. You kept your very, very, very slim fucking chances of a playoff spot alive, and I mean the slimmest of margins. But hey, you still got hope. Yeah, I'm giving them 1% chance of hope. They're not making it, but...
They traded away their best defender.
Yeah, they're not making it. Yeah, but let's at least be nice to Denver for 1 week, because they have nothing else to look forward to in life. The hockey team sucks.
I don't know if this was true or not. I was reading the Broncos tried to trade for Russell Wilson for Dino Smith. Was that true?
I think that was a joke.
Is that true? Oh, yeah.
Because if that was real, I think I would have been. I would have loved to seen Stephen A. Smith on that one. Then we head down to the Falcons Panthers, and I gotta say this: Falcons.
What a game!
Falcons,
sure that was.
Falcons won. I gotta give him props on that one. It was Mariota's birthday, so he had some birthday luck. But man, I gotta call certain player out. And it's not the Panthers kicker, because I'm seeing all these people blame the Panthers kicker for the loss. No. If you want to blame any motherfucker for the Panthers loss, you blame that wide receiver who got the touchdown when the game was over and took off his fucking helmet that cost them the game to win it at the end of regulation, because hey,
was it DJ Moore?
Moore, yep. He took off his helmet after he got the TD. Oh, flag for way too much celebration on whatever they fucking call it. Kicker had to be moved back farther for the 1-point kick. Missed it. That's how we went in overtime. Then when the Panthers had a chance again, the kicker missed it then, and Atlanta ended up winning with the 3 points. And everyone's like, oh, the Panthers should have won it in overtime. No, motherfuckers who think that. They should have won the game to begin with if it wasn't for... Who was his name again, Dave?
DJ Moore.
PJ Moore for being a dumb-ass motherfucker. You win the dumbass award for wide receivers this week, and you win the idiotic award for being stupid. I don't care who you don't take your helmet up after you get a touchdown, because you know the refs are going to call that shit. But hey, I had Atlanta winning. Thank Jesus Christ. And there's our buddy from MIB headquarters, Mr. Jones. Now... Oh yeah, we're going after people today. Now we head to Dallas, who beat the Chicago Bears. Was a little bit worrying there at the halftime, but Dallas won.
Garbage.
Hey, the only reason y'all won that fucking game is Bears can't stop the goddamn run to save them lives.
That is true.
But this is where I'm giving out the award this week for dumbest quarterback, Mr. Fields. Now everybody may have saw what happened if you did it. It's been replayed a lot. When Dallas recovered a fumble, instead of touching the Cowboys player, you jumped over the Cowboys player. Cowboys player was smart enough to realize he wasn't touched, ran it for a touchdown, touchdown stood. I'm sorry, isn't it logical that if somebody recovers a fumble, you touch the motherfucker? You don't decide to jump over him? I'm sorry, Fields. I don't know what the fuck you were thinking. You were like, I'm gonna hurdle over him. Oh, shit, no one touched him. Touchdown. You're an idiot, Fields. That was the dumbest thing I've ever seen by a quarterback this year. And that is saying a lot. Bears, but you did place Claypool in the trade from the Steelers. A lot of my Steeler friends are not happy about that. We'll discuss that later. Steelers are on a bye this week, but I'll give more of an update on that later. Next, surprisingly, the Dolphins barely got by Detroit. Makes it a little bit interesting. Lions can't win a game in the fourth quarter. It's like we play good for 3 quarters and then we die. Of course, then we had the Vikings Cards. Yeah, Cardinals. Can we just say that the Cardinals suck?
Yeah.
No one's going to disagree with that. Then, of course, wow, the worst team of the week. Congratulations, Las Vegas. You suck at life again. The Saints not only killed them, they obliterated them. The Raiders were the only team to get 0 points this week. So if you had any of them offensively for your fantasy team, you took a big old L. And if you had their defense, guess what? You took a bigger L than the Houston Astros did last night, or what the Lakers have been doing in the NBA.
Oh, speaking of that, I heard today that the Raiders are tanking on purpose because they can cut Derek Carr and save $101 million by letting him go.
Correct. I've heard that rumor too. That is the rumor that Raiders are tanking on purpose. That's why they hired that head coach, because they know he sucks. Just ask the Denver Broncos from a few years ago. Up next, the Patriots did beat the Jets. Granted, I think that pick six should not have been called back because, they said, roughing the passer. I saw the replay. The quarterback really didn't get hit that hard. But we know the NFL is going to be now more protective of the quarterbacks than what happened to Tualoya a few weeks ago. Jets, though, they can bounce back this week as they do play Buffalo. Up next, Eagles killed the Steelers. I'm sorry, Pittsburgh, you just fucking suck.
Garbage.
You're garbage. You traded Claypool. You're rebuilding. You don't have an offensive line. You don't have a running game because your offensive line is shit. And your defense, which is what you're usually known for, guess what? It's nowhere to be seen. It disappeared quicker than John Cena has. Up next, Derrick Henry murdered the Houston Texans last week. By the way, the Titans quarterback was the quarterback from Liberty University. I don't know if he's starting this week or not because Ryan Tannehill may still be out injured. By the way, Titans play the Chiefs this weekend. Oh, dear God. Up next, Mr. Jones, I'm so glad you're here right now. Because we saw the biggest choke of all times. More choking was done by this team than Kim Kardashian, Paris Hilton, Mariah Carey, Honey Gold, Holly Sampson, yes, I'm naming porn stars. Welcome to the adult part of this program. They all need to take a class from the Colts on how to choke. Because the Colts choked against the Commanders. I saw this. I don't know if you did, Travis, because I know me and live in the same area. But if you did not see it, let me set this picture for you, everybody. There's about 40 some odd seconds left. Colts are winning the game. All of a sudden, their defense disappears quicker than a man trying to pay child support. Yes, I'm using that philosophy today. Because Washington was able to drive down the field and get a touchdown with about, I think, less than 10 seconds left. So, Colts blew that game royally. And not only that, the next day, the Colts fired the offensive coordinator.
Yeah, some guy named Brady. Brady. Some guy named Brady.
Yep. So, Mr. Jones, how do you feel about your Colts right now? If he is still here with us after that burial of his team. Yeah, they haven't fired the coach yet. I think they're waiting.
Yeah, we can hear you.
We can hear you, yeah. Little low, though. I think it's because you're using the app, obviously. Moving on. Okay, Dave, it's your 49ers. But Colts, we got Colts, though. They did play better without Matt Ryan, I'll give you that. By the way, this week the Colts play the Patriots in New England. We'll discuss that later. Now, Dave, your 49ers beat the Rams, so congratulations. Everybody knew that shit was fucking coming, so you can't act too happy. But I will give you props to Christian McCaffrey. He did do something that hasn't been done since LaDainian Thomas, and that's run for a TD, catch a TD pass. What's that, Mr. Jones? Breaker?
Oh, he's on mute. It says he's on mute on my end. He has an X on the speaker. Now it's off.
Yeah. Niners running back did get the trifecta, pass for a TD, caught a TD pass and ran, so I give you props on that, Dave. So
fuck you, Jimmy G, you suck. Can we give Christian McCaffrey as a quarterback?
Hey, I was about to say that. Christian McCaffrey should be y'all's quarterback.
Yep.
Jimmy G
he throws better than Jimmy G does.
Yeah, if Jimmy G would have thrown, he would have thrown over him.
But there is a little bit of bad news for the 49ers, though, unfortunately, because, well, we had to have No, not that.
Oh.
The Seahawks won, unfortunately, which you did not get correct. You had one of the worst weeks this week, and we'll get to that in a minute.
Had the Giants.
You had the Giants. Seahawks won that one. So if the players were to start this weekend, the Seahawks would be the division champions. Niners would be the 7th seed.
Yep.
So you barely make it in just because of how bad the Bucks, Packers, and everybody else is. But Seahawks won. Geno Smith should be getting comeback player of the year because holy shit, he's playing like he was in college. I give him props. Then we get to the Sunday night game, which I'm honest. I actually didn't finish watching that game because I thought that game was over at halftime, and it stayed like that pretty much. But I'm not a Packers fan. Dave's not a Packers fan. Mr. Jones is not a Packers fan. Travis is the Packers fan. Travis?
Yeah. I turned this shit off at halftime. What are you talking about?
I wasn't the only one then.
That was humiliating. You couldn't stop Josh Allen. You couldn't stop Stephon Diggs. The Bills don't even have a running game, and you let him run down your throat.
I don't know. Now they do, though.
Now they do.
They do now. They do now. Dangerous.
Yeah.
But, I mean, and then for the trade deadline, you just sit there and look fucking stupid while everybody else in your division is making plays.
Vikings got a tight end, and they got They did.
Apparently, the Steelers handed off Chase Claypool to the Bears because they were going to get a better pick in the second round.
Mm-hmm.
Well, hello, they're both fucking 3-5. The Bears will probably finish better than we will.
I think that's why they did it. But yeah, that game was hard to watch, and I'm going to say this. One of the most idiotic things I saw from the Packers that Sunday game, and I saw the replay of it, I think was one of your defensive players. A Bills assistant coach was helping you up, not doing anything to you. You push the Bills assistant coach, you get penalized, and then you get ejected for it. Good job.
No, he wasn't an assistant coach. He was one of the backup tight ends.
Oh, backup tight ends. Okay, I didn't know if it was what
He
position.
was a practice squad tight end player.
Okay.
Wow.
But still, though, you shouldn't push him because you know the refs were gonna. Again, silliness by Green Bay. By the way, Aaron Rodgers said today, because he was interviewed, he said we need to win with the people who we have. Let's all laugh at that statement.
Yo, who the fuck did the Packers got beside Robert Tonyan? Who else
Who do
they
we
got?
Because Christian Watson can't stay healthy.
Nope.
Romeo Dobbs can't catch a fucking ball.
Nope.
Sammy
Aaron
Watkins
Jones.
run like Aaron Jones. I mean, he's the only one that does something. Sammy Watkins runs down the field like he's fucking 80.
Yeah.
The offensive line,
You
the
better get
offensive
to it.
line plays like they're blindfolded.
And
You better.
Packers are bad.
You know
We're
what I
gonna
think the
talk more
Packers
about
should do?
tank.
They should tank the rest of the fucking season and get the #1 draft pick and go get Hendon Hooker and say,
Well-
fuck you, Aaron Rodgers, fuck you, Jordan Love,
Well-
fuck you, Matt LaFleur, fuck you, everybody, we're getting a quarterback.
I would
You gotta
point
fire
out,
again.
right now
Fire
the number one
everyone.
pick belongs to Houston, but I don't know if they traded that away or not because of all the things they've done. But I know right now Houston is the #1 pick for the moment. And then of course Monday night, wow, Bengals.
I didn't watch it. I watched it at the end like it was like 2 minutes, and it was like 35 to like 14. I was like, damn.
Yeah,
I was like, come on,
Bengals.
Bengals. I was like, come on, Brown win. I was like,
You-
oh yeah. Let's...
You
I was
made
happy.
Jacob Brissett look like a competent quarterback. Yes, I know the Browns have a good running game and they got a good defense on occasions. But man, I thought they would have still played better, the Bengals, even without Chase, because I know he's out for a few more weeks because of a hip. But man, that offensive line showed that they do not care a damn about Joe Burrow. He's going to be crippled.
Did you watch that game? There's some touchdown where Amari Cooper had an interception or something
Yeah,
like
he
that.
threw an interception. That's how bad the Bengals were. Amari Cooper got to play quarterback for one play. Holy shit, and it was a bad pass. But he made up for it in the second half. He played great in the second half. I got to give Cooper that. But yeah, so with that out of the way, here's the standings now for this week after doing all the math. In last place now is Travis.
Damn it.
At 67, 55, and 1. In third place is me, 68, 54, and 1. And Dave is in second, thanks to Cleveland of all teams, at 68, 53, and 1. Cleveland saved your ass, because if Cleveland would have lost, you actually would have been in last place, Dave.
What am I, 68 and what?
68, 53, and 1. You barely. You would have been in last place if it wasn't for Cleveland. Cleveland saved your ass this week.
Cleveland sucks.
Cleveland, yeah. And then Mr. Jones is still in the lead, though, at 72, 53, and 1, but his lead's not as big as it used to be because of this past week. So, Mr. Jones, that lead is getting shorter and shorter week by week.
Come on,
Before we get to the college rankings and we get to our college games, there's one thing we got to talk about, unfortunately. And Mr. Jones will probably be back because I know he's at MIB headquarters.
The Michigan Wolverines.
The Michigan State, Michigan Wolverines situation. For many people who do not know, Michigan won the game, but that doesn't matter. Unfortunately, because it's not what everyone's talking about. That's why the playoff. No one really cares about that because of what's happening with Michigan State. As of now, 8 players from Michigan State have been suspended. If you have not seen what happened, looks like after the game, some Michigan State players went into the tunnel of Michigan and jumped and beat up a Michigan player. There is actually a police investigation going on right now. The player that was attacked has said he's probably going to sue them and have them go to, and get a lawyer and have them go to jail.
And do you blame him? I would do the same thing too.
I don't blame him. I saw the video, and I'm going to say this. Video Game Dad says, "Hey, no, Mr. Jones, I'm not saying that. Yes, you're still first, but I'm not quoting Roman. Go to hell."
You remember last night?
Yeah, that was you, and I know it. Now.
What are you talking about? That wasn't me.
Yes, it was. Now, Michigan State, does not look good for them because of this. It looks undisciplined, and now a lot of people want to blame the Michigan State head coach. I don't think you can blame the head coach because to me those players went and did it on their own, so I can't really blame the head coach there. And I know some dumb woman on ESPN is blaming the tunnel. Yes, the dumb woman on ESPN actually said today she blames the tunnel at Michigan University for this happening. That is the dumbest.
Tunnel?
Yeah, she's blaming the tunnel. That is the dumbest thing I've ever freaking heard in my life. Now. Michigan State, I think there's going to be a lot more things coming from this. I wouldn't be surprised if those 8 players get thrown out of school, they lose their scholarship, because here's the thing. No one's going to trust them if they stay on the team because they lose cannons. And here's another thing for those 8 players. Kiss your NFL career. Well, I can't say kiss your NFL career goodbye because teams have drafted problems before. But you did something that was heinous. I've never seen anything like that in college before. I've seen some weird things, heat of the moment, you punch somebody. But this was not a heat of the moment situation. This was planned and calculated. So, unfortunately. Anybody else got an opinion about what happened on the fight? Or the beatdown, I should say, after the game. Dave, because you're a Michigan guy, so I know that would be your school situation. Or Travis, anybody?
I think Michigan State, they should lose their players. That was uncalled for, no matter what was said. I mean, that makes the college look bad, and it's uncalled for in the game of football.
I agree with that statement wholeheartedly. I know Dave's trying to get back in because he's had internet issues. That's what you get for being a New Yorker.
I'm back.
But you're a Michigan fan. We know this. How do you feel about that? Because I know you were talking about it as well on Facebook, as was I. And even my mom saw it, and she was disgusted, saying these men, well, she called them bitches, to be honest. Those were exact words. These 8 bitches should be expelled, not suspended, expelled.
Like, I was reading the guy that beat up the guy was the number one round for the NFL draft next year.
And
it just pissed. They were just mad because we beat them. They were mad and shit. So they let the anger. They let
Video Game Data K. Mr. Jones says if the NCAA lets this pass, then the NFL should not have the players not drafted. I agree with that.
Yep.
I agree.
I mean, the NCAA does let a lot of shit go, which is wrong. So I wouldn't be surprised if they don't do anything.
Yeah. But Michigan is, because they got the police investigation going. They want to push charges on the 8 players. So this is going to be interesting in the next few weeks and more to come. We'll probably hear more about it. But getting to some fun things now. The College playoff rankings were released last night. Little bit of shocking things happened, actually. So we're going to go from the top, from 25 down. And then we're going to discuss what was surprising. Then we're going to probably give our top 4 teams. Because I don't give a fuck about 5th or 6th, because, well, they're not in the playoff.
I do.
Well, 5 and 6 don't mean...
Yeah, I bet you do.
What I mean by that is when we give our top 4, who should be in. Because 5 and 6 don't really get in the playoff. That's what I meant. But number 25 from the rankings last night is 25 is UCF. Number 24 is Texas Longhorns. 23, Oregon State Beavers. 22, North Carolina State. Number 21, Wake Forest, which ironically enough, we had the Wake Forest North Carolina State game we got to talk about. So one of those 2 teams will bounce. Number 20 is Syracuse, so they got their hopes a little bit alive. Number 19 is Tulane at 7-1. 18 is Oklahoma State, so the committee is still giving a small chance if they win out. 17 is the North Carolina Tar Heels at 7-1. 16 is Tar Heels,
Garbage. Tar Heels.
16, Illinois at 7-1. Penn State is at 15 at the moment. Utah is 14. Kansas State is at 13. 12 is UCLA. 11 is Ole Miss. 10 is LSU, who they play Alabama this week, so that would decide their fate.
LSU?
LSU. Yeah, LS bullshit, as I like to call them, because I don't think they should have even been in the top 10. But
Boo!
number 9 is the Trojans. 8 is the Oregon Ducks. 7, who, by the way, they are undefeated right now, still TCU. 6 is Alabama. I'm going to say this before we get to the 5. Alabama should not be ahead of TCU. I don't want to hear, oh, they're in the SEC, they play a tough conference. Fuck you, Alabama's got a fucking loss. Wins matter to me, and if you're undefeated, you should be ahead of every motherfucker on the planet. Fuck you, committee, and fuck you, Alabama. Number 5, Michigan Wolverines, and then the top 4 is Clemson Tigers at 4, Georgia at 3, 2 Ohio States. I know that makes Mr. Jones happy. Then number 1, oh, it's Tennessee Mountains up, the Tennessee Volunteers. That is their thing. So, who do we disagree on this list?
Buck Ohio State.
Okay, heard Dave. So Dave, why do you not? So I know why you're gonna say Ohio State because you're Michigan. Now let's be honest here. Before we're taking the rivalry out of it, we know Ohio State and Michigan haven't played yet. Loser of that one will probably miss the playoff. I think we can agree on that, right?
Yes, sir.
All right. So we're not gonna worry about that at the moment.
You know what? Then fuck it. The LSU or whatever.
LSU.
Fuck it.
Should not be number 10. I agree with that. Travis, what about you?
For top 4, Clemson easily. They haven't played anybody.
Oh yeah, Clemson too.
Clemson has not played anybody. I agree with that.
All they really played, in my opinion, is have they played Notre Dame yet?
They played Notre Dame this Saturday. That's actually one of their games.
They played Syracuse. That's it.
They played
Clemson's
Syracuse.
gonna be in there. They fucked that shoe. So actually should have.
Well,
they screwed
I
that
actually
shit
looked at the schedule for Clemson, and you're right. The only 2 good wins they have on record is Syracuse and Wolfpack of North Carolina State. Other than that, not really a good thing. Now Notre Dame they play. Notre Dame was 5-3. You know, beat them. That might look a little better. But I do agree Clemson should not be in the top 4. And
Michigan should be at 4.
Okay.
Ohio State should be 3. Georgia 2. Tennessee 1.
Yeah.
All right. So that's his top 4 there.
But
I don't want Alabama.
My top 4 would be Tennessee because they actually look like an actually good team. Mine would be Buckeyes number 2, Michigan 3, and then Georgia at 4.
I can see that.
Let's see. A few comments from Video Game Dad I'm reading. The players should be cut. Don't miss their education. Bum old Michigan and LOL. Alright, now as far as for me, we already know I don't feel Alabama should be where they're at. I think they should be behind TCU. So I'm going to say this. I'm not impressed with LSU this year. I think they kind of been mediocre. Honestly enough, they have Notre Dame's old former head coach. And I'm going to say this. Illinois should probably a little bit higher because they're 7-1. I mean, that's what the best record they've had in years. We should give them props on that one a bit. Now, as far as for my top 4, I've looked at this all day today, because I know who's number 1 in my eyes. I'm going to go with Tennessee because they did beat Alabama. I have to give them that spot. Number 2, I actually also have Georgia. I know they're going to cancel each other out, Tennessee and Georgia, because they play this week. Winner stays, loser goes. So that's fine. Number 3, and this is where I'm going to probably have a lot of people say I've lost my fucking mind. Number 3, I have TCU.
What?
Why they have one of the worst defenses out of the ones still left undefeated. They put up the most points out of any team, and they are fun to watch. I've never been bored watching one of their games, and as much as people may not want to say it, we want exciting, fun teams in the playoff. I think while they probably won't win a playoff game if they make it in, at least you know it's going to be a high-scoring affair, and it's going to be a lot of points, and I would like to see some fun for a change instead of a defensive struggle as we've seen in the past. This gives me to number 4. I don't have Clemson. I'm sorry. You beat Syracuse because of bullshit, and you beat North Carolina State Wolfpack. That's your 2 best wins at the moment. Get the fuck out. You're not in the top 4. So that leaves Michigan and Ohio State for me. here's my thing. I looked at the schedule. Michigan State's played a little bit more of competition, but not by much. Ohio State kind of the same thing.
You mean Michigan Wolverines, not Michigan State.
Yeah, Michigan Wolverines, thank you. So this is really a coin flip for me. I have Michigan at the moment at number 4, but I could also put Ohio State there, so it's one of those to where I don't feel, I don't feel confident with either one being there until they play against each other. But right now I have Michigan at 4 and then Ohio State at 5, if everybody gives a shit. But, with that being out of the way, we are done with our rankings. Now we can get to the college games we have this week, and before we get to them, just to let everyone know, we do have 2 games being played right now. Yes, there are college games tonight and tomorrow, and they had 2 Tuesday. Central Michigan's beating Northern Illinois 21-0, and at halftime, Bowling Green, which is from Virginia, is actually winning, holy shit, 6-0 over Western Michigan. As far as for last night, Ball State beat Kent State 27-20. In Ohio, University beat Buffalo 45-24. Now, as far as for the games we got this week, the first one, which is, of course, in 2 days, Friday night at 10:30 on ESPN2, it is the Washington Huskies at home, who are 6-2 and 3-2 in the conference, play one of their rivals, the Oregon State Beavers, who I said earlier are ranked number 23 in the playoff. They are 6-2 for the season and 3-2 in the conference. So, are we going to go pair a Husky, or are we going to go build a dam with the Beavers?
I got the Huskies.
That's one for the Huskies. Travis.
I got the Beavers.
You got the
Go
Beavers.
Beavers.
Go Beavers. Well, I'm going with the Oregon State Beavers here. I think they're a little bit better team. I have not trusted the Huskies all year. They look suspect. As far as for the matchup predictor, looks like a lot of people are going with the Huskies right now, as they are favored 60% to 39.3. But we'll see what happens. Moving on, and then these are all the games on Saturday, and we have a lot of big ones, but we do have one that's kind of not for any ranking, not for any bowl chance. This is more about pride. It is the Air Force Falcons, who are 5-3, taking on the Army Black Knights, who are 3-4. This was on CBS at 11:30 in the morning Saturday. Of course, this is usually the military game. I always wake up for this one because I always like watching the military football teams play against each other. Right now, the Air Force is favored 68-31. Travis, are you going to go fly with the Falcons of the Air Force, or are you going to be joining the Knights of the Army?
I'm going with the Air Force.
One for the Air Force. All right. Dave?
Air Force.
Air Force. And I'm taking the Air Force as well, so that means if... and Video Game Dad left his first comment, he's got the Huskies winning that game. And I am taking the Air Force as well, so... Just to make sure I actually have everything written down for a change, yes, I know I'm being intelligent. Going back to the first one. And everyone's pretty much taking the Air Force because no one trusts Army at all at this point. Game number 3. Well, it's the big game of the weekend from the SEC Network. It is the Tennessee Volunteers taking on the Georgia Bulldogs. Winner of this can pretty much guarantee them the number 1 seed at the moment in the playoff. The game, by the way, if anybody wants to know, is at 3:30 p.m. on CBS. Right now, a lot of people are picking the Bulldogs. Both teams are undefeated, and both are 8-0, and Tennessee's 4-0 in the conference. Bulldogs are 5-0. Dave, who are you taking? Bulldogs or Volunteers?
The Tennessee
Tennessee? All right, so you're going Rocky Mountain, High Top. I know I can't sing for shit.
Yep.
Travis, what about you? Are you taking the I want to say the Titans. Shit. Tennessee Volunteers or the Bulldogs?
Since you wanted to say Tennessee Titans, I think this Tennessee Volunteers could beat the Tennessee Titans.
Yeah, they
With
could.
that being said, I'm going Rocky Top. I'm going Tennessee. They already have the high of beating Alabama. They're going to beat Georgia. Georgia's favored by 8. It's going to be close.
Going to be.
But my boy Hendon Hooker, ex-Virginia Tech Hokie, is going to win the Heisman. He's going to win the national championship.
Ooh.
Tennessee.
Tennessee. All right. Now, here's the thing. I looked at this. We know I picked Tennessee in the past to win. Bulldogs are favored, like you said. But I've noticed something between these two teams. Bulldogs haven't played up to their standard like they did last year. They played a few games this year that they didn't look really that great. And what I mean by
Missouri?
yeah, I mean, let's take a look. They barely got by Missouri a few weeks ago, and Kent University kind of hung in there to the bitter end. I know somebody's going to say, well, they destroyed Auburn. Auburn sucks this year. Oh, they beat Van. Oh, guess what? Van's a terrible fucking score. Oh, they beat Florida last week. Florida Gators fucking suck. All right?
The garbage.
But let's take a look at who Tennessee's beaten in the last 5 games, shall we? They beat Florida, who was ranked 20th at the time. They beat LSU dominantly. They did get by Alabama. It was close, but they did beat Alabama. They beat some school no one's ever heard of called UTM. And they destroyed Kentucky last week. No doubts about that. They obliterated Kentucky, threw them off the map. So guess what? Mountain Mama, I'm going with the Volunteers as well. And this is my upset pick for college this week. I trust Tennessee. I'm sure Peyton Manning's going to be there again. You know, it's a home game for Georgia. But, man, there's going to be a lot of orange in Georgia, I have a feeling, this weekend. And now we get to my execution. It is the Fighting Irish at home this week, who are 5-3, take on the undefeated 8-0 Clemson Tigers. Now, I really want my Irish to win this game. I'm going to be praying to every god, every video game character. I'm going to be praying to Kratos. I'm going to be praying for all that. And, oh, Mr. Jones has the Bulldogs in the Air Force. Okay, I'm glad I walked back in to check on that. So you know who I'm picking. I'm picking my Fighting Irish because, you know, Dallas is off this week, so I think the Wheel of Fate did this to me on purpose. Now, with that being said, I am doing 2 punishments this week if 2 certain teams lose. My Irish being one of my mom's Ravens. So, if the Irish do lose this Saturday, which there's a high fucking chance, I will be singing next week the Marilyn Turpin's fight song for my mother. So you already know the first song I gotta sing if the Irish lose. But give me my Irish, for the love of God, do not fail me. And by the way, Mr. Jones is taking the Bulldogs, so he's on his own on that one. Dave, I know you hate Clemson because of what they did to Syracuse. Are you going to be joining me with my Fighting Irish, or are you going to take the smart bet and take Clemson?
Clemson.
Yeah, I have a feeling I'm on my own this week. On this one, at least. Travis?
Doug, you're not on your own. I'm going with the upset and going Notre Dame.
Oh, I'm buying you a beer. There's somebody's with me because not even my mom is with me on this game, man. And that's what sucks. By the way, noted at least in the matchup predictor, Clemson is favored to win the game 64.8%. Notre Dame's at 35.2. I know Clemson's favored to win, but I'm just going to hold out hope and pray. And then, of course, our last college game of the week, it is the Wake Forest Demon Deacons on the road taking on North Carolina State Wolfpack. Both teams have the same record, 6-2, and they're both 2-2 in the conference. Wolfpack of North Carolina State is favored to this game. Dave, you start us off. Are you going with the Demon Deacons, or are you going to be joining the Red and Black Wolfpack?
The Wolfpack of North Carolina State. Ow!
Now we got one for the Wolfpack. Mr. Jones says, I got Clemson, but if Doug should lose, he should sing It's Raining Men. No, I already said what I'm singing. My mom's Marilyn Tubb song. That is one for the Wolfpack, though. Travis, who do you got? You joining the NWO Wolfpack, or are you taking the Wake Forest team?
I'm going to go Wake Forest in an upset.
All right. That leaves me, well, as the song goes, don't turn your back on the Wolfpack. Boom, 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 boom. Or you might wind up in a body bag. Give me North Carolina State. I know Mr. Jones will put his thing in a minute. Now let's get to the NFL. Well, We already talked about some of the trades that have happened. Of course, Claypool is now on the Chicago Bears. That should be fucking hilarious. The Bears do play this week, so we'll see what happens as they do play the Dolphins.
That's another fucking wide receiver Justin Fields misses, right?
Probably. The Lions and Vikings did an in-conference trade. Lions traded their best tight end to the Vikings, mostly because the Vikings starting tight end, he's out for 8 to 10 weeks. So there's that. I'm sure Packers are like, you got to be fucking kidding me.
Yo, Doug, I got a question.
Shoot.
If a player's suspended, you can't be traded, can they? If they're suspended for the whole season?
They can still be traded, yeah.
Oh, I always thought it didn't have. Okay, all right,
Nope.
yeah. Oh, okay.
They just don't get paid or whatever the fuck it is, or
I'm talking about Calvin
whatever.
Ridley. He got suspended for gambling, and he got traded to the Jaguars or some shit.
He was fucking draft. He was
DraftKings. DraftKings, yeah, that's what it says. Now, before we get to the first game, here's a few things, because we already mentioned a few of the trades. Teams on a bye this week. The Cleveland Browns are on a bye. The Dallas Cowboys are on a bye. The Broncos are on a bye. The Giants are on a bye. The Steelers are on a bye. And the 49ers are on a bye as well. So if you have any of these players on your fantasy team, make sure you fix your fantasy lineup this week so you can have it set, ready to go. And lastly, because this spoke earlier today and then more news broke today, because this involves, well, the goddamn Commanders who can't stay out of the fucking news.
Snyder.
Earlier today, it was announced that Snyder and his wife have hired, I can't remember the name of the fucking bank right now.
Bank of America, some shit like that.
They will be, looks like they might be selling the team, because they hired
Did you hear who might buy him?
Let's go buy him. Let's all buy him. Let's go.
No, Elon Musk said he might buy that motherfucker.
Oh, that would be interesting. Because Rosie says, Doug, and hi, Rosie. Hope you're having a good night tonight. Yeah, so they might be selling the team. But, here's the best part, because this broke about an hour or so ago.
Oh.
Our wonderful state, Travis, Virginia, is investigating Dan Snyder and the Commanders because of unlawful practices and other things.
Yep.
So Dan Snyder might get pushed out. I know a lot of the NFL owners want him gone. They may get his wish. The wish there, we'll see what happens, but this will be continuing story for the Commanders. Who's going to be the new owner if they decide to sell it, which they probably will? And are they going to be moving? Because that might be the next question after that. We shall see.
And other breaking news, they just said they arrested the guy that shot Washington Commanders Brian Robinson back in August.
Oh, that's good news at least. Some good
There was
news
a
there for them.
17-year-old juvenile that shot him.
Oh, good.
Wow.
At bowling, if we don't get a lane, so we'll just leave, just order food. All right, no problem. So with that being out of the way, let's get to the first game we have on the schedule tomorrow night. Quite possibly.
What a barn burner.
Oh, yeah, what a barn burner. This is going to be so much fun. Everyone's going to be like, man, that was better than Crown Jewel, which it probably will be better than Crown Jewel. It is the undefeated Philadelphia Eagles on the road taking on the Houston Texans, who, well, Houston Texans fucking suck. The Houston Rockets, guess what? They fucking suck. And it looks like if this keeps up, the Houston Astros ain't doing shit. Because they are down 2-1 right now in the Phillies for the series.
Who's leading the series?
Phillies.
And it's 0-0 right now.
So, yeah, the game just started, but for the series-wise, Phillies went leading it. Dark Knight has taken the Texans, and dear God, what the fuck's wrong with you, Dark Knight? What crack are you on?
How much have you had to drink?
Well, he doesn't drink that much. He doesn't drink alcohol at all.
No.
Rosie's taking the Eagles. By the way, Rosie and Dark Knight, they're the family. Mr. Jones is taking Philadelphia. That's not a surprise. Dave, are you going to go for the upset, or are you going to be like, man, fuck Houston?
I see an upset here.
What?
You do?
So I know. I see the Texans getting whooped by the Eagles.
I was going to say, holy shit.
Yeah, I don't trust the Texans.
Travis, no. I have a feeling I know where you're going, but just for clarification.
The Eagles are going to be winning so much by halftime, Jalen Hurts is going to be benched because they're going to be up by like 30-some points.
Yeah, who's the backup for the Eagles? Who's the backup anyway for the Eagles?
Gardner Minshew, I think.
Gardner Minshew, yeah. Dark Knight, you're the only one taking the Texans. Dave said he was not.
Hell no. I'm about to drink some more bourbon on that one.
This is now on me. Houston, we have a problem. You're gonna die. If you thought King Henry was a problem last week, oh my God, the Eagles are going to destroy you. Did you not just see what A.J. Brown motherfucking did to the Steelers? He got 3 touchdown passes before the second half. Holy shit.
And he got drug tested.
And he got drug tested the next day. Give me the Eagles here. This is my lock of the week. I know usually I would make the joke at this point that, hey, everyone picked the Eagles almost, so they'll lose. But in this case, no way in hell. Houston's going to be thankful to get 20. I don't even think they're going to get close to that. They'll be thankful to get
10.
They'll be thankful to get 10, exactly. This will be
3 points.
the biggest blowout we get this Thursday, okay? I can't see any other game being bad for Thursday until we get to the first Thanksgiving game of the Lions, but that's another story for a few weeks. Moving on, we head down to the Dirty Birds of the South as the leading team in their division, the Atlanta Falcons, are at home playing the Chargers, who are coming off a bye. Chargers still have some health issues. We don't know if the main receiver target's going to be playing on the receiving core because of his hamstring. Just understand that Halloween was only 40 hours ago, and there's still some of that spirit roaring around as Doug, you speak negative about it. Dark Knight is taking the Falcons. Yeah, I know. I'm insane. We'll see what happens if that continues. But Chargers have some injuries. Falcons, so here's the problem. They put up points. The problem is they can barely hold on to a lead. If it wasn't for the Panthers screwing themselves, Panthers screwed Panthers, kind of like Brett screwed Brett, Panthers would be the first team in place. But the game is in Atlanta. Chargers have some health issues. I'm going to take the Falcons here. I trust the Falcons a little bit more, and that's not saying much. Who's
Are you
next?
talking to me?
It's either you or Travis who goes next.
Actually, I got Chargers beating the Falcons.
All right. That's one for the Chargers.
That's tough because both teams suck.
Exactly. Only difference is Falcons are on first place for sucking. Well, not bad was the other
Jeez. Every time I pick one of these teams, they end up screwing me, so... I'm going to go Atlanta because they got a better defense.
Atlanta, all right. Not a bad pick there. Not a bad pick there at all. And Rosie and Dark Knight are both taking the Falcons as well. I know they'll probably be joining us next for the playoffs this year for picks. Next season, they'll probably be joining us officially. We'll get Mr. Jones when he comments when he does. Moving on. Well, Claypool, here's a chance to prove you might be able to help Chicago as the Bears are at home this week, taking on the Miami Dolphins, who, guess what? They made a lot of trades. They have a lot of weapons now, and they already had good weapons to begin with. I feel sorry for Chicago here because the defense ain't that good. Justin Fields still can't pass that well. Granted, Fields does know how to run with the ball, so that would be one of the biggest advantages. Claypool, you might be thinking, hey, I'm going from the Steelers, who are bad, to maybe a playoff team. I can't even finish that sentence. Sorry, Claypool. you probably should have just stayed in Pittsburgh. Give me the Dolphins.
TikTok. He said TikTok dance.
But yeah, he should have went to the XFL. He would have been better off.
Oh, shit.
Give me the Dolphins here. I don't trust Chicago at all. Dark Knight says, fuck this game. Dave, you're next. You taking the Miami Dolphins, or you're going to be going to see CM Punk in Chicago?
Fuck CM Punk. Fuck your Bears. I'm going to party in Miami with the Dolphins.
All right, so you'll be partying with Miami. By the way, the Dolphins are the away team, but Chicago still sucks anyway. Travis?
I'm going with the Dolphins, and this is my lock of the week.
Lock of the week, all right. Video Game Dad is taking the Falcons, so Mr. Jones is joining me and Travis. Dave, you're on your own on that one. Dark Knight is saying, screw it, give me the Dolphins. I know, and Rosie's taking the Bears, so that's going to be a fun argument between those two. And when Mr. Jones gives us his pick, we'll get it written down. Up next, oh my God, this game, when I saw this game, I'm like, yeah, I don't feel confident with either fucking team here. The Carolina Panthers are visiting WKLP Cincinnati as they take on the Bengals. Panthers realize that, hey, our wide receiver's a fucking moron. Bengals don't have an offensive line. This is really a crapshoot. This is a coin flip game to me. I don't think you'll feel confident with either team. I am only taking the Bengals here for one reason. I trust Joe Burrow. The problem is, I don't trust his offensive line. This could be the Panthers' golden opportunity if Atlanta loses to get back in the division race. But give me the Bengals at home.
You know what? I see the Panthers being the Bengals. I see the Panthers defense. I don't know, Brian Burns and that defense getting Joe Burrow sacked like 2 times.
All right.
I'm not confident, but
Understood that.
Bengals don't look good without Chase.
That is the
Chase,
issue,
so.
and Chase won't be back for another few weeks.
So, Panthers.
Travis,
Yeah.
floor is yours.
Give me the Bengals. I mean, I don't trust either team, but the Panthers, nah. They just need to keep losing and have a better draft pick.
All right, and as far as for Rosie and Dark Knight, Dark Knight's taking the Bengals, and Rosie is taking the Panthers. Mr. Jones has not commented yet about this game or the Dolphins one. When he does get comment, I will write him down, or at least put his name above the team. Up next, well, this would be Travis as far as the Green Bay Packers are on the road against the Detroit Lions. Lions have only won one game, and it was a home game, obviously, believe it or not. Packers are coming off getting murdered by the Buffalo Bills. Packers, as we already said, didn't do anything during the trade deadline, but the Lions don't have their best tight end anymore as they traded him to the Vikings. Travis, the floor is yours.
Oh, boy. If they don't beat the fucking Detroit Lions, then I don't know what to say. Yeah. I mean, I really can't. I've already said what I had to say the past couple weeks. Give me the Packers to win by fucking 1.
By 1 point, holy crap.
Yep.
By the way, in case you don't know anyone who has not been paying attention to the Packers, a lot of their fans, and I know Chaz is probably going to say he should have been fucking fired years ago, a lot of people asking for the general manager's head on a silver platter.
Please, I'll fucking cut it myself.
Don't blame me there because I've seen what he's done this year. They should have made some kind of trade. They should have got Claypool. That would at least help Rodgers a bit. Claypool's not the best trade receiver, but you know what? It would have been a better weapon than what he's got. I'm expecting, by the way, if the Packers do lose to the Lions, I wouldn't be surprised if Aaron Rodgers says, you know what, Jordan Love, you play the rest of the way. I'm
playing Jeopardy. I'm going to go hold Jeopardy.
I'm going to go play
No,
Jeopardy.
he's gonna be like, my thumb hurts. Fuck this, I'm out.
I'm going to go hang out with Pat McAfee every day. Rosie's taking the Packers as well. I'm taking Green Bay, but I'm going to be honest here. Do I feel confident? No.
Hell no.
I could actually see the Lions winning this game, and I know Green Bay's favored, but I think when I looked at it this morning, it's by 1.5 points.
It's 3.5 now.
Oh, 3.5 now, so they gave him a little bit more hope. Dark Knight's taking
And
the
Detroit
Lions.
always plays us tough.
Yeah, rivalry game. The only thing that gives Packers maybe a chance is the Lions' defense is fucking terrible.
And then
But the running game's good.
And then that rookie defense, Aiden Atkinson, Aiden doing good though, for rookie for Michigan. So yeah.
All right, Dave, it's your pick. Are you picking the Packers? Or are you going to
No,
shock?
I see an upset here. I see the Lions winning the Packers at home by 7 points.
Oh wow!
I can see that.
Now I'm going to ask this question to you, Travis, before we continue. Now, in Week 10, we know it's Dallas and Green Bay. If the Packers lose to Detroit, are you taking the Cowboys next week?
Fuck no.
I just wanted that out there, so at least we know. Doesn't matter who wins this weekend, he'll still pick the Packers next week. I just wanted to make sure of that before we continue.
Fuck. What do you think, I'm on drugs?
No, I just wanted to make sure because I know you picked Buffalo this past week. Now,
I told you that I didn't want to give y'all an easy win.
Easy, good point. Now, here's a game that absolutely, positively, goddamn sucks. It's the worst game of the weekend. If you have to sit through this game, I apologize. It's the Las
Let's
Vegas
see.
Raiders taking on the Jaguars.
Let me
3-2
find out.
final score.
What is it?
It's Raiders and
The
Jaguars,
Jaguars and the
Dave.
Raiders.
In
I'm gonna see what
Jacksonville.
game. I'm gonna go see what games are playing in my neck of the woods on Sunday. Let's
It is
see.
a 1 o'clock game. I should point that out because we're at the 1 o'clock games. Raiders didn't score any points last week. Jaguars choked their win away against Denver, but they did have that long flight from London back, so we don't know. But they're in Florida, AEW country. Dark Knight is taking the Jags. Rosie says, screw them Cowboys. You're saying that, Rosie, because you're a Giants fan, so there's that.
I got Buffalo Bills at 1, and then I got the Vikings and Commanders. So good game.
Okay,
Good
so
game.
at least you don't get stuck with
Yeah,
that.
we got the
Then I
Commanders
got the
team.
Rams and Bucks at 4. So yeah.
Okay, so
I think everybody's got that game.
yeah, probably. Here's my thing. I actually didn't know who to pick for this game. This actually took
I don't
me
either.
the longest time. It took me 20 minutes to make a pick for this game. Usually,
Do
I
we
know
have
who
to
I'm
pick anybody?
We have to, unfortunately, yes. Rosie's
God
taking the
damn it.
Raiders. It took me 20 minutes. Every other game, I'm going to be honest with you, it took me about maybe 3 to 4 minutes to decide. This game, like I said, I literally had to eat a slice of pizza. I watched a little bit of porn because that's how I did it while I was trying to avoid this game. And then I watched Beyond Belief Fact or Fiction. I was trying to avoid this game like the plague. But I'm taking Jacksonville in an upset. The Raiders defense looked terrible last week. Offensive line is still bad. I don't know what's going on with the Raiders. Well, I know what it is. They got a terrible head coach. At least the Jaguars head coach, and I know some people said he's bad, but let's remember, he's got to fix the problems from the last coach from last year before he got fired. So
Yeah, Urban Myers.
he's got to fix Urban Meyer's mess. So at least with
Stupid idiot.
Jacksonville, yeah, Urban Meyer's a fucking idiot. I don't know why Fox brought him back for college game. Doug Peterson, who did lead the Eagles to a Super Bowl, he's got to rebuild that organization because of the screw-ups. Jacksonville has a little bit of a better offense and defense as long as they don't choke games. They have done that most of this year. But give me Jacksonville in an upset, but I'm honest. If I had to watch this game, I would rather read a book. I'd rather watch political news. This is going to be the one time I'm going to say this. I would rather watch Baron Corbin.
Oh shit.
And I don't like him. Travis, who are you taking, Jags or Raiders?
I guess the Raiders. Fuck it.
Raiders, all right. Yeah, this is one of those games I don't think anybody feels happy. Dave, who do you have?
You know what? I'm going to take that long hair motherfucking guy that played you for I think played Clemson, I believe. I'm going with that lover boy, look like Shawn Michaels, Trevor Lawrence.
Sit down with the Jags to win, all right, fair enough. I know Mr. Jones is not back yet, but I think that might be because he's still stuck at MIB headquarters. But we know I'll get to the rest of his picks either later tonight or tomorrow. He's not going to change them anyway because I know him personally. So let's move on to the next game. Speaking of Mr. Jones, it's his Colts on the road taking on the New England Patriots. Talk about another game I don't want to sit there because the Colts are just a terrible team. Patriots are barely hanging on. They're actually last place in their division because the Dolphins are better than them, the Jets are better than them, and of course the Bills. Well, the Bills are fucking great. Bill Belichick did. I think he's now second place for coaches for most wins. So congratulations to that accomplishment, you cheating motherfucker.
Yeah, cheater.
As much as I hate saying this, after seeing how bad the Colts choked in the game against the Commanders, there is no chance in fucking hell I'm taking the Colts this week. I am taking the Patriots.
I'm taking the cheaters.
That's 2 for the Patriots.
Yeah, I'm taking the fucking deflating football spying motherfuckers. Fucking Patriots. Fuck them.
And just for clarification, Dog Knight is taking the Patriots, and Rosie's taking Patriots hands down. Moving on, we head to the 1 o'clock game. That's the Battle of New York. It is the Buffalo Bills taking on the Jets. No home field advantage in this one because, well, they're not that fucking far away from each other. Jets kind of
No,
has.
they're like 5 hours away from each other. I'm in
Not
the
really that
middle of
long.
New York. I'm in the middle of New York, so I'm between New York City and Buffalo.
Buffalo fans travel in droves. Bills have a great defense. The offense, they didn't play that great against the Packers. They did enough in the first half to win the game. Jets coming off a heartbreaking loss to the Patriots. They still have some issues on that offense, not looking the greatest. The quarterback did make a lot of stupid plays last week, throwing interceptions. The defense for the Jets is good, but oh wait, that's right, Bills now have more weapons thanks to the trade deadline. And Josh Allen right now is probably the leading candidate for MVP in the NFL. Bills have a great defense. Bills have a great offense, have the better head coach, got the better kicker, got the better looking cheerleaders, got better looking women in general. If you can't figure out who the fuck I'm taking, I've been riding this team all year long. I am taking the BILLS, Bills Mafia, baby.
Boy, I love the Super Bowls though.
We'll discuss that another day. Rosie's taking the Jets, and Dark Knight is taking the Bills. Dave, you live in New York as well. This is the big game on your channel at 1 o'clock. Are you going to be flying high with the Jets? Or are you going to be joining me with the Bills Mafia and putting somebody through a fucking table?
You know what? I see. I don't know, man. I don't know. I got the Jets written down and paid for it, but I might change it to the Bills.
Well,
you know what? I'm taking the Jets. I'm taking the Jets in an upset. I'm taking the Jets over upset from the Buffalo Bills.
Now, I'm going to ask this question before I get to Travis. Are you taking the Jets because the Jets head coach used to be an assistant coach for the 49ers?
No, I root for the underdogs.
Sure.
And plus, the defense player for the Jets are on my fantasy football team. So.
There's the main reason right there.
Yeah.
Sauce Gardner.
Travis,
yeah.
You saw what the Bills did to the Packers last week. You saw what what happened to the Jets. Both teams look good though. Both teams we could see a third game between these two in the playoffs, maybe. That's depending how the Jets do offensively. But who do you have? Are you taking Buffalo Mafia? Are you going to be flying high with Mike Greeny and the Jets?
I'm going with the Jets. Fuck no, I'm not going with the Jets. The Jets have no damn chance. Zach Wilson's probably fucking Giselle, whatever her name is. He done took Tom Brady's wife from him, so that's why he's all fucked up in the head. So no, the Jets are going to lose easily. It's not even going to be close.
Not even close. Oh, wait. I should point this out because I didn't mention it till now. If the Jets do win, they get first place in the division. That's how much this game means. If Buffalo wins this,
that ain't happening.
I know it. Well, just in case if it does, heaven fucking forbid. If the Bills do win, they still have first place in the division, and they are currently the number 1 seed in the AFC. If that holds, I feel sorry for the AFC because I would not want to play in Buffalo in January. Holy shit, will it be cold as fuck?
Hell nah, it'd be cold, blizzarding
cold
there.
As a bitch.
It'd be like 50. It'd be 50 negative 20 degrees in Buffalo.
And the only team, and the only team
and
who
the
can catch
snow,
who is? Keep going, Dave. I gotta look something up real quick.
And the snow, the stadium is off the Lake Ontario, and and it gets really snowy, and it gets like 10 pounds of snow. Like it gets high, 10 inches of snow. Yeah. So
I should point out the only team currently
that's ice.
Oh yeah, the only team who can currently catch Buffalo and take them out of the number 1 seed is Kansas City because they're the 2nd seed. Titans and Ravens, you would have to hope for a lot of help.
Buffalo's going to lose 2 games.
Yeah, Buffalo's got to lose 2. That's the caveat to that, which I don't know if they will at this point. They could only have that 1 loss at this point. Moving on, and guess what? We have a revenge game. Finally, it's been a while. It is the Commanders at home who made an amazing comeback against the Colts. But you're taking on an old quarterback from your past, as it's Kirk Cousins and the Vikings. Now, the Vikings have played very well this year, only got 1 loss. Ironically enough, it was a primetime game against fucking Philadelphia. Since then, they've been able to win their games because it's not a primetime game. Commanders, like I said, they did get the upset, but there's a lot of off-the-field distractions right now. That could play a key factor because, the players and the coaches may not know who they're going to be the new owners. They don't know what's going to happen. Vikings have so many weapons on the offense. I like Heineke for the Commanders. I like what he does. He's I think a bright future quarterback. Unfortunately, Vikings better defense, better court. I can't believe I'm saying this. At least right now, I gotta have Kirk Cousins better than Heineke. Yes, I feel sick to my stomach saying that.
He's an awesome quarterback.
Fuck no, he's not. I'm just being great. He's not great. He's shit. I would still take Michael Vick. I would take Terry Bradshaw at his age at this point. Rosie, no. If the Jets win, I'm not hugging a man. He can go to hell. Rosie and Dark Knight are taking the Vikings. I'm taking the Vikings here as well. I just think the Commanders used too much magic last week to win in the comeback. Vikings should win this game easily. Kirk Cousins gets to beat the Commanders again.
I mean, I got the Commanders beating the Viking because you can't count out the Commanders' offense. They're actually doing pretty damn good. You got Terry McCaulkin or whatever. Got the running back, and then you got defense. You got the sweat guy and the other guy, and the guy that played for the Buckeye, he might come back too. Chase Young.
He did get activated to practice today, so he might be playing. Yes, but like
I see the Commanders looking at all that fucking business going on. They're gonna beat the Vikings. Yeah,
okay.
So I got the Commanders.
Now this pick's interesting from Travis because he hates the motherfucking Vikings with a passion because he's a Packers fan. But the Commanders beat the Packers, so he fucking hates the Commanders. So Travis, which one of your poisons are you picking, the Vikings or the Commanders?
You remember back in the day when Kirk Cousins said you like that when they won whatever fucking game they won?
Yeah, I remember that.
It was a dumb game too.
Well, he's going to go into Washington, kick their ass, and be like, "Hey, you like that?" And Minnesota's going to go 8-1, and they're going to win the division, and then choke in the playoffs. Because Kirk Cousins can't or the playoffs because he's never been in the playoffs really.
He's not good at time big games. That's his issue.
Then it just Saints 2 years ago in the playoffs.
Yeah, but that was more the defense, not him.
Oh, and then they lost to us in the playoff.
Yeah, they won that because of their defense. The offense had nothing to do with it for the most part. Moving on. Well, this is going to be Dave's kryptonite because it's two teams in his division. At 4-5, it is the Seahawks on the road who have been very impressive. First place, taking on probably one of the bigger disappointments in the NFC this year. Not saying a lot because they were favored to win the division for some fucking reason. The Arizona Cardinals. Arizona, you fucking suck. But I'm not going to go first. And I'm not going to let Travis go first. Dave, welcome to your poison, bitch. You taking the Seahawks or the Cardinals?
I mean, the Seahawks lose, we get first place again, I think.
You'll be tied, but do you trust Arizona? That's the question.
You know what? Man. Oh, God. I feel sick. Come back to me. I gotta think about this shit.
Oh, hell no. You're going first, damn it. I'm not saying what fucking Dark Knight and Rosie say. Oh, no, you're going first.
You know what? Oh, my God. I got the Seahawks beating the Cardinals. But I'm hoping the Cardinals win somehow.
Who take that loss if it means Seahawks lose. Dark Knight and Rosie are taking the Seahawks as well. Travis, you're next.
Seahawks. I haven't picked them. Every time I don't pick them, they fucking win. So, Dave, I'm helping you out. I'm picking Seattle.
Oh, dear. I have a feeling we may all be helping Dave out with this, because I'm also taking Seattle. I love their defense. Geno Smith is playing like
Pete Carroll.
Yeah, well, fuck Pete Carroll, definitely. Geno Smith's been playing very well this year. Like I said, he should be up for comeback player of the year because he went from being shit to, oh my God, he could actually be in MVP talks, which is surprising. But now we gotta hope Mr. Jones picks Seattle, else Dave's fucked. Now, a game that I'm sure all of us were looking when the season started, oh, this is going to decide first place in the NFC to, well, loser of this game probably will miss the fucking playoffs. It is the Los Angeles Rams taking on the Buccaneers. Oh my God, this game. Does anyone really feel confident with it? Doesn't matter. You don't have to say who you're picking right now, but does anyone really feel confident with either team?
No.
Same. Rams have not played like the Super Bowl team, but they're showing one thing. When you spend a lot of money, to win a Super Bowl in that 1 year, it pumps bite you in the ass. Matthew Stafford's going back to like he played in Detroit. Cooper Kupp's not having that good of the year. Their defense not as playing as well as it was. Buccaneers, though, apparently without Gronk, without DeMonican Sue, they look like shit. And now they got to wonder if the divorce, what's happening with Brady and divorce from his wife, is not going to play mentally and cause him to play bad. Buccaneers have no fucking run game at all. I think they're like one of the worst team in the running department, I believe. I'm not saying something.
And the running back is fucking
Fournette.
Yeah. Yeah, and like what the fuck? You got Mike Evans. You got Mike Evans. You got fucking Chris Godwin. You got the tight end. Damn, you got all that good shit. You're not doing nothing.
Father Time is catching up to Tom Brady as well.
Oh, hey, he needs to go bye-bye. He needs to retire and go home. Go sleep on the street.
Yes,
go sleep on the couch. Or go back to mommy and daddy, you know?
I agree with
no,
that.
Tom Brady will make a good-ass coach one day.
Well, apparently, remember, after he retires, I think he's joining the CBS crew for commentating. Dark Knight's taking the Rams. But yeah, like I said, the Buccaneers have I believe, the statistically worst-ranked rushing team, and that's saying something because we all thought it was Green Bay who was terrible at running. No, it's actually Tampa.
No, we got a better running, but the Rams got a bad running team too.
Well, Rams, yeah. Normally I would take Brady, but I think because of all the off-field shit, the team playing like shit, no one's catching the ball for him. The running game was terrible. The defense is not scared. No one's afraid of the defense. As a matter of fact, I'm going to say this. Last year, everyone was afraid of playing the Buccaneers offensively and defensively. This year, I don't think anyone's afraid of facing Tampa Bay. Everyone's talking like, oh, that should be an easy win with how they're playing. Rams, while I don't think they're going to be they're going to make it back to the Super Bowl this year. I don't even think they'll make the playoffs at this point. But I think the Rams will win this game just because at least they're more of a competent team. They're not making as many mistakes as the Buccaneers are. And at this point, I got to go believe in Cooper Kupp, who's playing very, he didn't play the greatest against the Niners, but I think he'll bounce back this week. Give me the Rams on the road.
Is he playing this week?
I don't know. I know he's hurt, but there hasn't been any report yet. I'm just going to go presuming 50-50 shot he's playing.
All right, whose turn is it?
Rams and Bucks, Dave.
Oh God. Crap. Another one that. You know what? I'm picking the Bucks over the Rams.
Bucks, all right. So he's right now on the island by himself. Travis, who do you got? Rams or Bucks?
Give me the Bucks.
Bucks, all right. So right now I'm technically on my own until we hear from Mr. Jones. I know, Dark Knight, you have the Rams, but you're not in this until the playoffs at this point. Moving on to the Sunday night game, and this one's kind of interesting. It would be the Tennessee Titans taking on the Kansas City Chiefs. Chiefs coming off their bye. Titans coming off a win against the Texans, which doesn't mean fucking shit. But the Titans are first place in their division. Chiefs are first place in theirs as well. This is also for playoff seeding as well because, they're both Chiefs are 2, Titans, I believe, are 3 or 4 at the moment. King Henry had a great game last week. The question is, which quarterback will be starting for the Titans? Will it be Tannehill or will it be the rookie quarterback?
The Malik guy, Malik
From
Williams.
Liberty University.
Willis. Yeah.
I can already tell you this. A lot of people in Virginia, because that's where me and Travis are. I know a lot of friends who are in Lynchburg. They are taking the Titans here just because of the quarterback. I don't know fucking why. I think that's retarded. Chiefs, better weapons, better quarterback. Better defense. The only thing that worries me with this, and it all depends on Henry. That team lives and dies for the Titans with Henry. If Henry has a good game, this could be close and they can pull off the upset. But if the Chiefs' defense can just outplay the quarterbacks, Patrick Mahomes play great, Chiefs will win this. Give me the Chiefs. Doug Knight has the Chiefs. Rosie has the Rams. Travis, you're in Virginia like me. Please tell me you're not taking the Titans because of their quarterback.
Hell no. Chiefs are going to win this game. Malik Willis, Liberty, whatever. whatever the Flames or whatever
Liberty
they're called.
Flames, yes.
No. Even if Ryan Tannehill, they would still lose.
Fair enough. And then, of course, Dave, well, you didn't win last Sunday night because you took the Packers. You're the only one. Are you taking the Chiefs with us, or are you going to go for another upset again?
I'm going with Tennessee Titans.
I'm going to say this before we even get to Baltimore and Saints. You live and die with the upset picks, because if you lose all these upset picks, you will be dead last.
Yeah.
So you really you're going to have to hope the Jets, Commanders, Bucks. Well, no, because Travis picked them too. You're going to have to hope the Titans, Commanders.
Yeah.
The Jets, the Lions, the Panthers, the Chargers all win. Oh, you are fucked this week, my friend. Rosie's taking the Titans as well.
Week.
Oh, this is Dave. Like this was my past week having that big old win total. All right, we're now heading to the Monday night game. It is the Ravens taking on the Saints. Now, before I make my pick, if the Ravens lose this game, because remember Dallas is off this week. Normally, I would not worry about doing a singing video, but I will do 2 songs this week. Like I said, if the Irish lose, I will be singing the Marilyn Turpin's theme song for my mom. That's her school. As far as for this, if the Ravens lose, I was thinking, what song could I torture myself with? And then it hit me this morning when I was listening to some songs on my workout photo while I was trying to do some workouts for my arms. If the Ravens lose, I will be singing one of my favorite theme songs from anime, Yu Yu Hakusho Smile Bomb, which is about a 4-minute fucking song. So, there might be 2 songs I have to sing next week. So, moving on though. Dark Knight has the Ravens. Rosie has the Saints. I think she wants me to be suffering. Saints beat the fuck out of the Raiders. Ravens did beat Tampa Bay, but the Bucks haven't looked that good. Saints have the running game going again. Ravens, the biggest problem for them is this year they've not been able to hold on to fourth quarter leads that well. Granted, they do have the better quarterback, because I'm sorry, Andy Dalton. Yeah, you beat the Raiders, but that was your fluke of having a good game like you did with Dallas here one year, or when you were the Bengals quarterback. All those times you would have one good game and then play like shit the next. The biggest question is, which Ravens are we getting? We're going to get the Ravens team that keeps it close and wins, or are we going to get the Ravens team that gets that big old lead and then chokes in the fourth quarter like they did against Buffalo, like they did against the Giants, like they did against the Miami Dolphins? I am taking my mom's Ravens here. I know she'll be wanting updates on this Monday night game because she won't be able to watch it because my stepdad would force her to watch SmackDown. I mean, not SmackDown, Raw. But give me the Ravens here. I'm going to eat some crab cakes one more time and enjoy it. We're going to be down in Mississippi, down in New Orleans. But it will hopefully be a closer Monday night game than we got this past week. Travis, you've been picking Baltimore a lot this week, enjoying the crab cakes. Are you going to stay with the crab cakes one more time? Or are you going to be going to throw some beads for the Saints?
I got to eat me some crab cakes.
All right.
The Ravens.
And Dave's taking the Ravens as well. Wow, none of us trust the Saints this week. Wow, well, I don't know about Mr. Jones. He might be stuck in a meeting and it might be headquarters. I will get the rest of his picks, and then I will message you guys as always. I always do. But let's take a look ahead to week number 10, as we always do here.
We have a good game. We got a good game next week.
We got a few good games next week. Actually, a lot of things going on. Our Thursday night game is a rematch from week 8, Falcons and Panthers. So they already play each other again. And this one's going to be a little bit more interesting because this is actually could be for the division title. Yes, I know it's in week 10, but does anyone really trust the Saints and Buccaneers to jump the Panthers or the Falcons?
No.
So if Falcons win it, they could be like the Vikings and just run away with the division by the skin of their teeth in this situation. Vikings and Bills will be a good game on week 10 at 1 o'clock Sunday. Granted, this will be a lot of pressure on Kirk Cousins because even though it's not a primetime game, it will be the biggest game on the schedule for the
Where they
Vikings.
playing? Buffalo or Minnesota?
They are playing in Buffalo.
Oh God, they're gonna be snowing there too. Oh
Probably.
God.
Lions play the Bears, aka no one gives a fuck. Seahawks play the Buccaneers, aka Buccaneers will probably get killed. Jaguars will be murdered in Kansas City as they play the Chiefs. A deceptively interesting game for Week 10 next week. Cleveland Browns came in off the bye against the Miami Dolphins in Miami. We'll have to see if the Heat will play a factor. And, of course, which Browns teams are we going to get? The same Browns team from this past Monday or the Browns team we've had all year where Jacob Brissett realizes he fucking sucks. The best record...
I don't know, man. They're talking about fucking... They saw Watch come back in 2 games.
He doesn't come back to the Houston Texans game.
Oh, yeah.
So,
that's like
yeah,
2 games. That's like 2 games.
I think that's week 11, actually. Let me check real quick.
It's week.
I thought it was week 13.
Week 13. Yeah, because they play 13. The Bill. Week 13, yeah. So week 13, he's still out for a few. But remember, with Jacob Brissett, like I was saying, Jacob Brissett kind of reminds me of Piccolo from Dragon Ball Z. He's never going to be the father of the team, but he's going to be the stepfather of the team and actually do all the work. If you get that reference, you know why I say that. Giants will get the easiest fucking win of the season as they play the Texans. Giants, I'm saying this right now. If you lose to the Texans in Week 10, I am getting Triple H's shovel and burying your ass next to Jimmy Hoffa. Colts play the Raiders next week in Week 10. That should be a, I don't know who to pick in that one, sorry, Mr. Jones. Of course, Week 10, the game of the week will be my Cowboys on the road against Travis's Packers. We'll have to see
That's my Super Bowl.
That could be your guys' Super Bowl. Your win could cause us at least to drop to the 6th seed. A win, though, would probably eliminate the Packers by that point, or at least put them on life support, depending what happens with Detroit this week, obviously. Sunday night. Well, the Niners get a primetime game as they play the Chargers. That might be a gift horse for the 49ers, depending on how Jimmy Garoppolo plays. But your Monday night game of Week 10, which might be a little interesting now because of the fact that the Commanders have kind of ridden the ship for a degree. It is a rivalry game. The Commanders are on the road against Philadelphia. This is definitely the Eagles' trap game for them.
Yep.
Because, everyone's probably going to be thinking, the Eagles have a chance, are going to win this one easily. They have that big rest period because they play tomorrow night and then they have the rest. But also, here's what I think is also going to happen. How many of the Philadelphia Eagles players are going to be tired from celebrating if the Phillies win the World Series by that point? They might be party hardy, so that game's going to be a little interesting. We'll have to check. And, of course, we're going to look to Week 11 real quick. Thursday night, Week 11, Titans at the Packers. Very short week for them. Granted, they're both home games, but you're going to be playing 2 good running attack teams. We'll have to see how the Packers do both weeks. Browns and Bills play against each other. My mom's team is off. Plays the Panthers in Week 11. Week 10, they're off. Eagles play Mr. Jones's Colts in Week 11. I feel sorry for the Colts. Giants get another easy game as they play the Lions, so they get 2 easy games after their bye week. That might benefit them. Cowboys, unfortunately, they do get a hard game because they have to go from Green Bay, and then they have to go against Minnesota at 4:25 in Week 11.
Go Cowboys.
But as we seen, Kirk Cousins, the Vikings last year couldn't beat Cooper Rush last year, but that was a primetime game. But this is going to be the game of the week, so a little bit more. So that could cause Kirk Cousins again. He doesn't have a good track record on those. Week 11 Sunday night game. For the moment, I wouldn't be surprised if they switch this. Bengals and Steelers. I hope they switch it. I doubt it, though. So we're going to have a shitty Sunday night game in Week 11.
Huh?
And then Week 11, Monday night will be the 49ers and Cardinals. So those are your 2 weeks ahead, which we'll see how everyone does, of course, this week and then the next 2 weeks.
Yeah, because we play Mexico City Week 11. We play Mexico City.
Correct, and I don't see any weird games on the Sunday schedule. And of course, Week 12 is Thanksgiving. One game is going to suck. One would be a good division rivalry game, and then, we could see Kirk Cousins screw himself over on a primetime game on Thanksgiving. But we'll get to that when we get to it. But that's the picks for this week, guys. I would like to thank Dark Knight and Rosie for joining in the comment section. Of course, Mr. Jones, who is still stuck at MAB headquarters. Of course, Dave and his 49ers, thank you for stopping by.
No problem, anytime.
And of course, Travis, who I know, depending if the Packers do lose on Sunday, he might be drinking all the alcohol in the world.
Darn right.
He might become an alcoholic, which I know how that is when Dallas has bad years. But good luck to all the teams we picked this week. Good luck to your team as well, even if we didn't pick them. Good luck to your college team this week. And by the way, the Lakers still suck. I'm so glad they are terrible. But before we go, NBA news a little bit. The Nets did let go of Steve Nash, which I don't think they should have did that. I don't think he was the problem. I think it was Kyrie Irving. I'm not going to get into why I think he should have been suspended. I won't get into that. That's not for this channel. That's for other things. Lakers still suck. So that makes me happy. I can go to bed happy every night knowing LeBron James and all of them suck. Makes me feel good. And all that. How long you been up for? Me? Oh God, I've been up since 7 in the morning, and I've drunk an energy drink a few hours ago, a strawberry cherry C4 energy drink. So I'm wiped and wild as fuck, which is a good thing, because after this, just to let you guys know, it was supposed to be Daymare 1988, but me and Falco, we will be doing Resident Evil Versus. So so give me a few minutes to let him know I'm ready. And until then, everyone have a good night, have a happy, safe week, and for the love of God, don't start the Christmas songs yet, people. We haven't even hit fucking Thanksgiving yet. Give it another few weeks, okay?
All I want for Christmas.
Dave, I will kick you in the dick next week if you do that.
So you don't want to hear Mariah Carey?
Not yet, no. I love Christmas music, but can we wait at least till next week, please? At least, shit. But until then, have a good night, everybody.
Good night, y'all.